Hey friends, this is Shin. I just want to tell you guys about my time in Denmark. Man, it was amazing. I preached about this one thing called being comfortable with being uncomfortable. I used the story of Philip talking about talking to the eunuch and going alongside the Ethiopian eunuch and hanging out with him and talking to him and saying, hey, like, if you like, do you understand what you're reading? And he's like, I don't know what I'm reading. Anyway, and that's sometimes me too. Like, I don't know what I'm reading sometimes. I need someone to tell me what's going on. And that's why we have commentaries and all that kind of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so basically, I mean, the story of Philip is he is going, like, standing next to, alongside one of the most powerful people in all of Africa. And so this guy is not like, he's like no joke. He's got armed guards, he's on a chariot, and Philip is like, he hears from an angel of the Lord to like go alongside of him. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go do that. And they don't say like, you're gonna bring this person to faith or blah, 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 you're gonna like baptize them. There's none of that instruction. He just says, stand next to, or stand close to this chariot. And therefore I'm like, he's probably like, what's going to happen? Am I going to be put in jail? Am I going to be sent to Ethiopia? There's probably all these thoughts going around. Am I going to die? Right? There's all these thoughts going through his mind as he's walking alongside this chariot, right? And the one interesting thing is like he's uncomfortable, but yeah, he's still there, right? And he's trying to figure out what are you doing, God, right? And so I had my own kind of minutes. I was like telling everybody, you need to do this, and you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, even when God calls you to do it. Like, sometimes it is a little uncomfortable. One of the funny things is, like, I had my own taste of my own medicine. Basically, I wrote all these prophetic words down with names attached, and I didn't know anyone from this retreat except for maybe like a couple people, maybe like 2 people, maybe. And also it's like Danish names are different than English, Scottish, American names. It's a lot different. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, when I was hearing people's names, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be pertaining to you guys. So I just kind of like forgot about it. And I was like, okay. And also on top of that, I was like, well, like, God is still doing a lot of cool stuff. I'll just leave this alone, whatever. And on the last night, oh my gosh, there was this woman. Her name is Minnie. I love her. She's amazing. And I literally wrote, it's like someone's nickname Minnie or question mark. I was like, I wasn't really sure. And and I was like, you're going to be a spiritual giant. You're a spiritual giant. And I was like, I thought it was kind of funny, but she truly is a spiritual giant. And so I was praying with her, and she was like, oh my gosh, that's me. And it's like, what is your name again? She's like, my name is Minnie. And I was like, oh my God. So I like show her, like, I wrote this before I met you, and this was from the Lord. And she was like, oh my gosh. And her son was like, whoa. And and even her son's girlfriend, she even gave her she became a Christian. She's just like, I want Jesus in my life. And that was super dope. It was like crazy. And so then I went over to like one of the leaders, and I was like, hey, like, this is like happening. What do I do? And she's like taking photos. We're sending it to all the people. And I'm literally leaving like early in the morning, like literally on Sunday morning. And they're going to have a talk on Sunday like late morning. So I'm not going to be there. So this is actually kind of great. So they took photos of the words, and then they dispersed it to the larger group. And there was so much like healing and just like God seeing them and hearing them in the midst of hardship and brokenness and all this stuff. So anyway, I would have missed my opportunity. Ooh, there's a bee. I would have missed my opportunity to like share beautiful words from God to these wonderful people. And at the same time, God was kind to be like, hey, I remember this. Remember these words that I've given you. And you need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And gosh, the Lord was so good. The Lord is so kind. If you want a prophetic word, I will pray for you, and I'll try. I mean, the universe is amazing. Also, just tag a friend, tag yourself, whatever, like write a comment. I'd love to pray for you. Also, secondly, I implore you to just go do it. I mean, in kindness, gentleness, and love, pray for people. It's not out of shame. It's not out of anger. It's not out of fear. It's out of these beautiful things, right? God is, and if you do have those things, I don't know if that's from God. It might be from the other guy, right? There's a lot of spiritual voices everywhere, And so there's activity everywhere. So if you like, sometimes I hear voices of, you know, like, you're not lovable, you're not needed, you're not this, you're not that. And so you sometimes I'd be like, I don't know if that is from God. I think maybe that's not even from me. I think that's from another thing, like the devil or demons or whatever. It's a lot actually easier to talk about demons these days because of K-pop demon hunters. Anyway, so I just want to implore you guys to pray in love, pray in peace, pray in joy, and kindness, and that there would just be breakthrough. God is gentle and he's generous and he changes people's hearts and not make them feel lesser than. So anyway, I love you guys. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Blessings and peace. All right, peace. All right, bye.